Alright, it's time to do some winter camping, but before we get out in the field, I want to show you some of the gear that I'll be putting on underneath clothing. I'm not just going to concentrate just on the hammock and on the sleeping pad and on the sleeping bag, because obviously the clothes that you wear really affects your outcomes and how warm you'll stay. So I'm going to start from the feet, work my way up to the top. Starting on my feet, I'll be wearing a pair of regular old socks like this. I don't want to go to sleep with wet feet, so I want a different pair of socks for sleeping. That dry pair of socks that I'll be wearing is going to be these guys. I don't know the name brand of these socks, but these things are awesome. Like, they're really fluffy. You see the material in there. Underpants. Obviously, I'm just going to be wearing a regular pair of underwears, but on top of that, I have these thermals. These thermals are really thin. They're made by a company called 32 Heat. 32 Heat you can find at Costco's. So the set is going to be these pants, this shirt. On top of that, I'll be wearing your general all-purpose hunting pants. These are winter weight. Winter weight are thicker than summer weight. As you've seen, everything that I've done so far is layers. And that's basically how you're going to stay warm. So the other mid layer that I have is this thermal shirt from Mossy Oak. Awesome. And all this stuff is pretty cheap. We're not talking about anything super expensive. Now we're getting into the things that can be considered a little more expensive, which are your jackets. So you need basically two layers. You need one layer to trap the heat and another layer to block the wind from stealing that heat from you. This jacket, I got it from Costco's. It is the name brand 32 Heat, just like this is 32 Heat and my thermal pants. So this actually does really well. This is the alternative that I chose to getting a North Face goose down jacket. This is the same materials, goose down on the inside, but a lot cheaper. North Face jackets are about $100. I paid $20 for this bad boy. Alright, this is a packable down jacket. The next layer that I want is a layer that's going to prevent the wind from coming through this jacket and taking the heat away from me. Alright, that's when a good rain jacket. This is a Gore-Tex Marmot jacket. This was a little more on the expensive side. I got this from Eastern Mountain Sports. Alright, so here's my system. This is my wind protection system and rain protection. Then I have the inside layer to keep the wind, or to keep the heat inside my body. Headgear goes by the same principles as the rest of the gear. Layers. So we have two layers. We have one layer to keep the heat, and then one layer to block the wind. There. Boom. The hammock that I've chosen is this hammock. It's equipped. It's a two-person travel hammock. It's rated down here. It says 400 pounds. Obviously, I'm not 400 pounds. I first started off using a one-person hammock, but the reason I went to a two-person hammock is a two-person hammock is much wider, so it allows you to sleep diagonally, which will give you a much straighter lay. Pretty simple. Strap it around the tree, put one side through the loop. Okay, so what happens here is when I'm applying pressure to the hammock, I pull down and this here just gets tighter around the tree. This seems a little high right now, right? It's all the way up here towards my chest. Okay, but when I get in the hammock sometimes could be tricky to get into. I want to pull this down towards my butt, right? And then slowly ease my butt onto it. Slowly putting weight down. And you can see how it sags. So it's not up to my chest level anymore. There we go. So what this is mylar, and inside there's a layer, I don't know if you can see that, there's a tiny layer of bubble wrap in there, and so it's mylar on one side and mylar on the other side with bubble wrap in the middle. All right, so you can see inside the mylar's this insulation material is down. With the two-person hammock, you see how wide this is? All that extra hammock. Well, I can basically use to wrap around myself at night and cocoon myself inside. This is not a fancy sleeping bag. It's not an extra winter heavy duty bag. Swiss Sport. I think this is about 45-degree bag, maybe 30-degree. Not working with me. All right, so there it is. This is the mummy sleeping bag inside the hammock. This says emergency sleeping bag, and it is a mylar bag. Never opened it up, so we're going to open it up and see how big this thing is. I think I'm probably going to hold off on this until later because it doesn't seem like I can zip it open and zip it up over top of me. So I'll wait till I'm actually in the hammock, in the sleeping bag, and then just slide this over my feet. That'll be ready for later. I got these tarps from Harbor Freight. Harbor Freight has deals a lot of times. They have coupons and they say you come into the store, you get a free tarp, no purchase necessary. So that's what this was. I didn't have to buy anything to get this tarp. But the tarps are 5 feet by 7 feet, which is kind of small. So I ended up getting 2 tarps. My wife got one free, I got one free, taped them together. Boom, there I have a 10 by 7 foot tarp. So that should be adequate enough. We're going to combine that with these emergency blankets, and we're going to tape these to the underside of the tarp. That'll help keep us warm. If I were to do a fire here, that'll reflect the heat back onto me from the underside of the tarp. Okay, I've attached the mylar to the tarp using packaging tape. Hey, next I'm going to use these lightweight stakes to tie the corners in the back down, and we're going to do sort of like a canopy where it's longer in the back and shorter in the front. That way if I have a fire here, it'll reflect the heat back down on me. Ta-da! There's my shelter. See how this, I'm covering myself with this? But you want to be comfortable, and this is how I get comfy at night. This is one of those neck pillows, inflatable, so I can pack it up really small. Okay, has this nice warm lining on it. So this is what I'll be using as a pillow. It's 5:07. And should be getting dark here in the next half an hour, so I'm going to go and gather some firewood. There's a nice pile of firewood right over here, so I'm going to go ahead and gather some of that. This machete is pretty awesome. Not too big. This is the Machete Junior by Gerber. Pretty sharp, clean cut. There we go. There's our fire. Don't want to overdo it. Don't want to turn off the flame. So you start with the small, work your way up. I'm the Fire King. I'm the fire king. I'm the fire king. You see what I have on? I just have the thermals. Just the thermals. And no jacket right now, and I'm pretty warm. You can do it. Survive out in the wilderness. In the cold. In the cold. It's not that cold. But I want you to say hello to my little friend. My little friend, he's called Mr. Rock. There's Mr. Rock. I brought him over from over yonder. You need something to sit on. You don't want to sit on the ground because your ass is going to get wet. So you need a Mr. Rock or a chair or something, or a big log. You see how this log over there, the edge is burning, the edge is burning, and on this here, the edge is burning. That's what I wanted to do. I wanted to keep the surrounding edges of my fire, of these big logs, just burning and burning and burning. And that'll keep the flame, keep the heat going. So this here is my camping fork and knife. It's pretty awesome. You can take this, flip it open here, flip it open there. Boom, voila. Fork, spoon, and a knife if I need one. Got plenty of knives, but this is nice. Nice fork and knife set. So I'm going to use this to eat my spaghettis and meatballs. Ooh, spaghettis and meatballs. That's my final setup. Got a big old piece of log. Put her on top. You see how thick it is? That should burn for at least, 4 or 5, well, I don't know, maybe 6 hours, 7 hours. Made it through the night. It did get down to about 23 degrees. It was really cold. But it seems like the whole setup worked except for one piece of equipment. And that piece of equipment is this emergency sleeping bag. It kept the heat in, but what happened is that all the condensation from my breath and my body, I guess, we let off some moisture. So it all like gathered on the inside of the sleeping bag, of this emergency sleeping bag. The outside lining of this sleeping bag was all wet. I don't know if you can see that, but there's water drops all on the inside of here. A bunch of water drops. Right there, look. All that's moisture. And so the whole thing got full of moisture. That's something you don't want to be. You don't want to be wet and cold. So a fail for the emergency sleeping bag. I could probably repurpose it for something. Maybe cut it open and use it as a liner. Awesome little pillow. This thing worked tremendously well. Check out the water. This is my water container. Ice. Ice, ice baby. Take it back to the 90s. So that does it for my winter hammock camping.